course, you can see ALAB and Kaya. And at 9 o'clock, I'm gonna start showing you the things that I use to un-potty train my dog because they're so bad. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, please. Hop. Hop. I'm gonna have my coffee first. Okay, hop. Stay there. Let me tilt this one up a bit. There you go. A little bit more maybe. Good morning. Not yet. Not gonna feed you. We've already eaten, Tyler. So who's having coffee right now? See how he doesn't want to have anything to do with this one? Because he's so kulit. He keeps moving around. Coffee is good. Is that Gail watching? Hi sis. Old fart's tired. It's tired from all the walking. And he's not tired yet. He needs to do those sprinting things that I make him do all the time. Who's there? Hi Claire! No practice today, no? What a snob, look at him. Let me get my notebook.
I'm reminding you, start your show.
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear Alexa?
I'm reminding you, start your show.
Oh, start your show. So this means it already is 9 o'clock. It means it's already 9 o'clock and I'm gonna have to start, but I need to finish my coffee. And who else are here? Hi Nee! Can you please settle down like Kuya? Look at Kuya. He knows he's the star today because he's not as well trained as ALAB and Kahati. So, what I want to discuss today is about un-potty training your dog, which is really, retraining your dog to potty in a different place or a different setting, because what's going on around in the world right now is too serious that even some of the famous villages where my students live are told not to walk their dogs outside. It's a huge problem, not only because the dogs have a lot of pent-up energy, but also they try to hold their pee and poo back, and that's not really healthy because for the longest time they've gotten used to peeing and pooping outside their house or even alongside of the streets. And I can't say that I can't say that I'm against it. It is also for our safety, but this is the next best thing to do, is to reteach them, and I'm gonna share you how I'm reteaching my dogs to potty in a different. It's not something that I prefer because they've already gotten used to pottying outside, but what can we do? Well, there's an answer to that. This is what we can do. And I want to show you what works for me as far as retraining my dogs is concerned. I want to discuss the system that I have developed. It's not really rocket science. It's a lot of timing. It's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of being patient. And I'm gonna summarize that into 3 C's later on. I think you've heard, for a lot of you who were my students, I used to teach you the 3 S's of potty training. Now I have 3 C's. I did not author the 3 S's, but now I'm gonna use 3 C's. And I'm gonna discuss that to you later on. I want to give a shout out to Zita. Zita's my really good friend, and she was the one who sent me a message and asked me a few tips on how to retrain the dog, because I think in her building, in the condominium where she lives, they're no longer allowed to walk the dogs outside the building. They're just supposed to stay inside, and her dog, who was my student for 6 years ago, has gotten used to pottying outside. And it's a huge problem because the dogs are already, going crazy because of this pent-up energy, and they still have this poop and pee inside them, and they're so not used to it. It makes them feel very uncomfortable to poo and pee in a place, especially inside their house, in a place where they haven't gotten used to pooing and peeing. And it's a huge issue for me and for a lot of people. So let me walk you through why I'm doing this, other than the fact that we have to adjust to whatever system is being imposed on us by the villages, condominiums, and where we live. I am also doing this for, I think I have a social responsibility to share what works for me and what I know, to help you and your dog live a little bit more comfortable in these times of crisis. For those of you who are watching this from the future, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, and so on, I am filming this at what I hope is the peak of this COVID virus effect. I hope that it doesn't go any further than this, and I don't have the resources to give out to a lot of people other than the knowledge that I have and the practice that I do with my dog. So I think that everybody can help, even if it's not in a financial form, even if it's not in a material form. I am giving you information as help, and I'm also going through this training as much as a lot of you people are going through it as well, and will go through it. And so let's train together. Let me walk you through the 3 C's that I mentioned earlier. And the first thing for you to prepare is the place where you want to, letter C, contain your dog in when you want them to potty. So in my case, I like using potty pads. Let me just get the potty pad right here. So this is a potty pad, and I always make sure, especially when you're training or retraining your dog, it has to be a little bit bigger than your dog. The bigger it is, the more chances of the dog getting hit the right spot and being successful at containing that pee or poo, and there's less cleanup for you, and there's more success for the dog that you can reward him for. A few optional things would probably be this silicone mat. Okay, the silicone mat I got from, it's like a tray. It's like a tray that holds the edges. You can use it to hold the edges of the mat so the mat doesn't move around. And I got this from Pet Express. I'm sure you people from the US or any part of your country can ask for your version of this in your favorite or preferred pet store. And if you don't have it, it's completely okay. You don't have to have this one. I just prefer using it because, especially with this small guy, from living with him for 3 years now or 4 years, he has a clear, this one gives him a clear line of difference between the floor and the mat. So you want all his body, 4 paws, to be on the mat. If the mat is just on the floor, sometimes it's by the edge. He pees by the edge and he doesn't hit it. So again, this is really optional. I just happen to have it. Some of you may use trays, you know, those black trays that goes under the crate. You can use that. And this one I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna attach this one here. As you can see, you can just push it through the holes, thread it through, so it doesn't move. And then we're good. Okay, let me do this one more time. Again, completely optional. What if you don't have a potty pad? Newspaper. You can always use newspaper for potty training your dog. In fact, if you have a puppy, you have the advantage of youth. You can, I always advise my students, and now I'm going to advise you, if you have a puppy, train them to potty on 2 settings. One is the setting where you usually go, and one is a mobile toilet. And I always like using the term mobile toilet because, you know, I learned this because of ALAB. And when he's gotten used to peeing and pooing outside and it started raining, and then of course he doesn't like wet floor, and he doesn't like thunder, and he doesn't like lightning, then he doesn't want to pee outside, and he doesn't want to pee inside the house as well. So he's just gonna fucking hold that shit, literally, and pee. So now it's quite difficult for the dogs, and it stresses me out as well because I know that he's suffering. I want to give a shout out to my friend Bianca. For those people like Bianca who travels a lot with their dogs internationally and interstate, I always recommend teaching your dogs to potty on a mobile toilet, such as a newspaper or a potty pad. It's convenient. It's gonna be easy for your dogs. You don't even have to put a cue or a command. Putting this one on the floor becomes a command on its own because it's visual, it's obvious, and it's something that they've gotten used to. This is not something that is easy for them. You have to be very patient at teaching this one because it's not natural. What else? If you have a puppy, I will not leave this on the mat. I will not leave this in the place where it is easily accessible by them anytime they want, because they're just gonna chew on it because it's something that is not, it's like paper, it's like a toy. It teases them a lot, so it makes them just play, especially if you have not given them a chance to remove that edge or that excess energy that they have. So Again, the first C is contain. And as you can see, it's also contained here. Because the smaller the space is, the less is there. Hi, Priya! Priya's gonna be, Priya's my student from a long time ago, and I wanna say hi to her. Hi, Pri. She's always been very nice to me, and I wanna drink with you again once all this crazy thing is over. So anyway, contain your dogs first. Contain your dogs and make sure that you've given them enough exercise, give them water, give them food, put them in the place where they can rest. And hi! And then prepare your C for your container. I'm awake now. Yes, Jen, sure you are. Okay. What else? So you have your container, you have your dog contained, and now this is something that is another extra that works for me. My dog, specifically ALAB, loves terracotta. Okay? It's a pot. It's made out of clay, it's terracotta, and I want to use this to trigger the marking behavior of my dog. And I want to show you. I know, it looks stupid, right? I'm gonna put a plant on here, ideally in the center, so there's more space for the dog to go around. But for this, for the purpose of this tutorial or demo, I'm just gonna put it right here. You also need to contain your dog, for me at least, to be on a leash, because always my students ever since goes, Brad, I just let my dog out and he potties on his own in the garden and then I call him back in. Okay, but what if you need to put your dogs on the leash and they don't want to go potty? And I've had a lot of these cases. Once you put them on leash, they just don't want to potty. So get them used to all these things that we force our dogs to like the leash and the collar, because it's not normal for them. They're not born to like it. This is something that they're not used to. Make them want to like all these things that are naturally that are not naturally appealing to them, leashes and collars, and let them live their best lives, knowing that it is not a threat to be on a leash and a collar, especially when you need to put them anyway in a leash and collar and make them poo and pee.
This is a reminder. Potty the dogs now.
Oh, so demanding. Did you hear her? She's probably gonna say it again.
This is a reminder. Potty the dogs now.
Okay, calm down. Calm down, Alexa. So, what else? Again, leash and collar. I always make it a point to put my dogs in a leash and collar every time I potty them. And, you know, pottying is also a rewarding thing. It's a relief of pain and discomfort. Yes, Lolo. Stretchy. Okay, so that's enough for now with the first C, which is contain or container. Hi, Ashley. The next C would be coincide. It will be a lot easier for your dogs to potty where you prefer them to potty, your container, when they already are feeling like they want to go potty. So you have to coincide being at the right place, your container, and the right time for it to be easier for them to relieve themselves. Did you get that? Again, the time that they really feel like they really, really need to go potty, and you bringing them to the place where you prefer them to go potty needs to coincide. So I usually time it, and it's always about an hour after eating. And I'm going to show you how I feed my dogs other than just throwing the dog food and training them with it. I always end it with a bunch of food and putting a lot of water to it. And then after that, after they finish that, exactly an hour later, they're going to feel the need to potty. And I'm going to bring them out, bring them to a place where I want them to pee. And almost instantly the pee. What else? So the last, so that's coincide for you. That's probably one of the hardest, the second hardest thing for you to do when you're potty training the dog is to coincide the time and the place where you want them to potty. So in our case right now, the place is the container, it's the mat. The time, just like what this girl said, Alexa, it's 9:15 and I'm supposed to potty him. The last thing would be, the last C is consistency. You always have to be consistent at doing almost any training that you're doing with your dog. Who's there? Hi, Cakes! The importance of consistency is just as important as feeding your dog. For me at least, consistency or being consistent with your training is what tells your dog what you're trying to teach him. It's not what you say, obviously, because for like this is my nth time doing a live training and I'm posting all my training videos, and you've never heard me say a thing, almost very minimal though, to my dogs. Not a single cue, not a single command, and I just try to wait for them to do a behavior that I like, and then I just chuck the treat. Very hardly that I say something to my dogs, but I'm very consistent at when to deliver, when to call them, when to wait, etc. So you, just like with this one, you have to be very consistent. Consistent in everything, like what container you're using, consistent at what time you're pottying them, consistent at giving them enough chances to go potty. Who else is watching? Hi Shell, hi Marinelle. Okay, so again, just to summarize, you have contain or container, you have coincide, and then you have consistent or consistency. The few things that I want to point out is, other than this is really good for people who travels with their dogs. When you travel with your dog, you don't have to bring the tray, you just have to bring this one, especially if you've done your part being consistent. You don't have to travel with the plant or the terracotta. It's just something that's extra. You can fade this one out later on once they've gotten used to being on the right surface. You also want to, just like food, you want to vary what surface you train the dog to go potty on, because nothing is available forever. Or just like now, when they've gotten used to being outside, then they're forced to be indoors. So it's better to teach them as early as possible. Shout out to you people who have puppies right now, to be on at least 2 different surfaces, 2 different settings. What else? What do I have here on my list? When you have a previously trained dogs that potties consistently in a very accurate way, time, place, and the where, sorry, so that's place, then it's a lot harder for us, including myself, to retrain the dogs to potty on a different surface. So if you have a dog that has been potty trained and who's been living with you for a year, it's not easy. it's easier to train the dog from the very beginning, so you have that advantage, you people with new dogs, puppies, young dogs. And it's a lot harder for us, so this is the best thing that I can teach you right now. So I need to wait a little bit longer because I want to make sure that he really needs to pee, at least pee. I don't care about pooping right now. He poops twice a day, very early in the morning. He's already pooped this morning at 3 a.m., both of them. And they're gonna poop again later at 3 p.m. So that's one more thing, no? The advantage of having two settings of where to potty is when it's too hot outside or too cold. Let's just say too hot because I live in a tropical country, most of us do, and it's cruel to let them out, especially when you don't have a shaded part. And even if it's shaded, once you touch the floor, check if it's too hot for you. If it's too hot, then don't make them potty on it. I think that's very cruel. So this is your best thing. It's not the next best thing. This is the best thing for you to teach your dog. A second setting, a mobile. So wherever you bring this, wherever you go, wherever you travel, it's easier for your dogs to adjust because this has been something that you have practiced. And don't do it just when you need it. Please do it every so often, probably just as much as how you would potty your dogs to your preferred place outside. If you have a lanai, and then in the morning they can potty there, in the afternoon they can potty here, and then bring them again outside in the lanai or the garage or in the garden at night. At least they get to practice this one regularly. Better than nothing. Who else is here? Maricel. Hi Maricel. Hello. I'm Simba and Murphy. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna wake him up and I'm gonna sit, and the most painful thing for us to do is just to fucking wait for them to pee. Another tip, if you wanna gamble, then you might wanna give them some physical exercise, excite them a bit, because that moves our system and that triggers, even for us humans, to want to pee. Excitement wants us to, makes us pee. Fear makes us pee. So, but I'm not gonna take that risk because he just might be somewhere else and I don't wanna clean up. So I'm gonna wake him up, put him on leash, and sit near here. I'm gonna get my stool and sit here, and you and I are gonna wait for him to go potty and fucking celebrate when he does. Okay? So I also want to introduce and invite you to another concept that I have always been doing with my dog, and that's sniff shopping. I will explain sniff shopping in a different, I will explain sniff shopping further in a different video. Yeah, lab. Lab, what's that? Excuse me, no scratching. That's for poor people. Sniff shopping and its benefits. So I'm gonna make Kai investigate on this and sniff shop. And I just don't know how to position myself. I'm gonna get a stool, or let me figure this out for you. Because can you see it? You can't. So I'm gonna move this one here. So after this demo, and if he even tries to pee, I will answer some of the questions. And okay, let me just hold on. And if you have questions, write them down on a paper, not on this on your phone, and then ask them later after this demo, or even if it happens or not. I'm gonna get a stool. Hi there, I'm still here. Uber. Wait. I'm gonna get his leash. Put it around my neck. Getting him. I usually do this check if he has eye gump or muta. That's what we call it here in the Philippines. Put him on leash, collar and leash that he doesn't need. See how loose that is. So I walk him with that loose of a collar. I know it's dangerous, but oh well. I'm not that perfect, you know. So, but I practice what I preach. I know for a fact that he's not gonna run away from me, and I just like it loose. So it's not loose for our standards. This is tight for him. This is already tight for him. Can you see it? Can you see how for a lot of people that is loose? So I'm gonna put him right here and hope. See, now he's sniff shopping the plant. And I'm gonna sit right here. If he commits a mistake, it's alright. I need you to potty. Okay? So I'm also gonna contain him somewhere here. Shorten the leash. Yeah. Sniff the plant. Sniff shopping. Yay. I don't know when this will end, by the way. He's probably gonna sit on it. Hi also to Barbie. This reminded me that Barbie, my really good friend who has also a Yorkie, who's been trying to teach her dog to potty on a mat, just sits on the mat. You know, I have a few more tips later, or maybe I can say them now. If you have, I know it's a little bit gross, if you have, this is giving me a bad back. Don't scratch, no scratching. If you have time, or if you're not grossed out, get your potty pad, or get your terracotta, potty them outside. There's no way he's gonna pee right now indoors. Potty them outside and dip your potty mat onto that pee, so it also triggers them to pee on the same mat. And don't throw that mat away. Get a new mat, pat it on the used mat, and that's what you use for the second. Hey, what's making you itchy? What's making you itchy? Come on, go potty. So I don't know how long this is gonna take, but we're gonna do it anyway. No, wait. Potty. So I'm not gonna put it on cue. I hate that I'm not in the scene, so let me just move this one away. Can you see me? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Kai, move here, please. I'm gonna move this. Very good. I honestly don't know how long this is gonna take because he's so used to just pottying outside and the triggers are there. Can you still hear me? I'm not gonna say, but I hope you can hear me. I also would like to post this later on indefinitely because I think a lot of people need this. You see how we're just staring everywhere? And yeah, as I was saying, I would like to post this for, well, indefinitely, maybe for, I don't know. Because a lot of people needs to know how to potty their dogs. And especially at this trying times. So, what else? Have you, I'm trying to position myself in the camera. Because you know, it's about me. No, it's not about me. Just in case you're wondering, you are in my yoga studio. And these are the things that I use for my yoga practice and my my fitness. I use specific brands, but I'm not really brand conscious. The reason why I use specific brands is because I accidentally used them and I found them very very good quality, such as the Manduka. The Manduka mat is it's grippy. It's easier for you to do your downward dogs. It's easier for you to do push-ups if you're not doing Kai, that's Canadian. If you're not doing yoga and you're doing just HIIT and body weight exercises, this is really good for you. I recommend that. I recommend Skills for the bands, and this was I got the idea of buying Skills from Coach Jasper, my really good friend, and what else? Of course, the Skills mini bands. I have Under Armour. This is my favorite, given to me by my really good kumpare, Rolly. And my belt, I hardly use this belt unless I'm training my dogs to do the impossible, which is what I demoed last week. This one is generic, and I love it. It's been with me forever. This was given to me by my really good friend, Kale. Hi, Kale. And this one is so useful. This is so cheap. It's very inexpensive, and it's so useful. I use it for almost anything, especially when I'm doing my exercises. This one is a foam roller that has different other rollers in it. This is for massage. See that? This is like a smaller roller with ribs. And for those of you who are commenting, I can't read your comments right now, but I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just trying to wait for this small guy to go potty. I don't care how long it fucking takes. I'm gonna make this guy potty. I'm trying to convince myself really, because it's really difficult to retrain your dog. Kai, can I check if you have a tick? You don't have a tick. It's probably just because yeah, my dogs are allergic to so many things. They're allergic to ugly people. I always say that. They're allergic to ugly people. They're allergic to poor people. They're allergic to noisy, small people. But really, they're allergic to poultry. They're allergic to fish that's not well cooked or that's not fresh. They can eat raw fish, but as long as it's fresh, because they're bougie that way. Maybe I can start walking him around and then just to let that system go through. Okay? Around. Walk around. Here. And then we can just share stories with everyone. If you're bored, you don't have to stick around. You can just exit the live video, and I'm still gonna be here as long as he hasn't peed or pooed yet. Maybe just pee. And then I'm gonna post this anyway. So when I post this, it's done, and hopefully I'm successful. He's struggling because he wants to pee and he wants to go outside. He should have peed. We should have went to the potty area when Alexa said it's time for us to potty at 9:15. But what time is it now? I don't know what time is it. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:36 a.m.
It's 9:36. It's 9:36. But I'm committed to it. That's probably another C that you need to add to the 3 C's. So now you have contain or container, you have coincide, and then you have consistency. And you have to commit. You really have to commit. So I'm telling you, this is a lot harder. He finds it really weird. that we're here, he's on leash and we're not going out. And it's weird. I know, Kai. This is the only thing we're gonna do today. Itchy, 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 itchy. I'm gonna get his brush and I'm gonna brush him. Kai, come on. Here. Good. What? So what I try to do with my dog's allergies, I try to manage it. Does your dog have allergies? So my dog's allergic reaction to a lot of things, and it normally happens when it's summertime. Almost every single birthday of ALAB, he's always have some itch on him, even with Kaya. So I hope it's not seasonal because there's nothing I can do about the season but to travel with them to a different country. What else? I try to give probiotics a lot. The ones that don't have sugar, because my dogs are yeasty, they form a lot of yeast. And the probiotics help them a lot. Now if you give them something that is sweet, the yeast will eat the sugar. That's their food. And they will multiply. So if you give them like Yakult, or if you give them the yogurt that you get from the grocery that says, even if it says no sugar added, there is sugar. And if you read the label behind it, it's gonna, especially the nutrition facts, it's gonna tell you that there's like 4% sugar. And what else? So what I try to do, and it's a hack, I go to 7-Eleven, they sell this big ass Yakult version. It's not even called Yakult. I'll get it later. And I keep it for about a week or two in the warmest place of my house. Why in the warmest place? Because that's where the lactobacilli thrives, the good bacteria, and that's when they multiply. Companies will have to put some sugar in it for the lactobacilli to eat. And for them to eat everything, you have to open the container. So you have to open the, excuse me, yikes. So you have to open the container, and so you have to open the container, and you have to wait for them to finish all the sugar that they were packed with in that container. So I'm just trying to buy time here because he's gonna potty anyway, and I just want to capture this on video. This is a setup that I don't prefer. Obviously he doesn't prefer it. Nobody prefers this kind of setup, but we have to train them, right? So I've given him a lot of water. I know the time that he needs to potty, and that needs to coincide where I want him to potty, which is the container. So if you're bored, please move on with your lives. Like you have some important things to do, right? Everybody's just inside the house staring at me. Or doing something with their dogs, or I don't know, learning how to cook or cooking. And you can just watch the replay later on. And you can fast forward it to when he pees, because he will. I use what shampoo do you use for your dogs? I like using Head and Shoulders, especially for dogs that produce a lot of yeast and dander. I like Head and Shoulders, and I've been using it for ALAB for a really long time now. And I don't have to keep washing them. They smell good. I dilute it with water. I don't use much. I bathe ALAB twice a week. I bathe ALAB almost once a month because he doesn't stink. Kaya stinks because every time he pees, because I make him drink a lot, both of them, and I'm going to show it to you later on how I give them water. I give them a lot of water, and when they pee, because he's so short, when he pees, it bounces back to his body. And I just give him a really quick bath. Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays and Sundays, I give him a bath. Wednesdays and Sundays. I also try to give them a lot of, in the morning, I give them VCO with their food. And at night, I give them salmon oil. Be careful with the fish oil, especially when it comes in a gel capsule, because they might be allergic to the gel capsule. You'd rather get the ones that are not in the gel capsule, liquid form. The gel capsule is made out of soy, and they could be allergic to that. So I really hope that he pees soon because I need to pee. I had coffee. Of course, he's not gonna pee. So let's just keep waiting. Lambing, 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 lambing. He loves eating things on the floor and the sidewalk, and it's so hard to catch him because he's so small. Unlike this guy, you know exactly when he's about to smell something or pick up something because his head is too far from the floor. That once he moves it, you can predict when he's about to pick up something from the floor. This guy, no, he's a critter. And I need to pee. I need to pee. I gotta pee. Hi, come on, let's walk around. Let's walk around. Oh. He thinks we're training. You think we're training. We're not training. We are not training. We're just waiting for you to pee and that's it. Otherwise, we're not gonna move. I mean, we're not gonna move on. We're gonna move definitely, but we're not gonna move on. This guy is just tired. Look at him. By the way, this guy is gonna celebrate his 7th birthday on the 13th of this month. Yes, of this month. He's gonna celebrate his 7th birthday this month. And I kept telling him, like, you know what? When he was 7, when my eldest was 7, he's already had so many things under his belt. And I always tease him, like, when are you gonna have some achievements? Of course, that's ridiculous, right? Because he doesn't need to have achievements. That's like a parent trying to compare. There. The parents that are listening, or for parents that are listening, do you compare your dogs? I'm sure you do. Do you compare your kids? I'm sure you compare your kids, no? So, walk them some more. Hi. Walk, walk, walk. Walk, walk. Wait, wait, wait. smell the dirt? Can you smell the dirt? Smell the dirt. Keep moving. Keep moving. It's so ridiculous. He's peeing. He is peeing. Congratulations to us. Wow. Yes. Yes. Good job. Come here. Good job. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yay. 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 Here you go. Yay. And now, I can put him off leash. Fun starts when he pees. Now I need to pee. I'm not gonna end the video yet. Congratulations. Love, can you greet us? Congratulations. He almost didn't make it to the pad. Are you gonna pee on it as well? No, he's gonna, look at that. He doesn't like, he doesn't like it. You don't like it, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Good boys. Good boys. Let me show you. I'm so proud of my kid. It took us how long? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 9:48 a.m.
It's 9:48. He's such an old fart. He doesn't want the soil. Look at that. He doesn't want the pee in our house. He's trying to roll it away. See that? I'm so glad we caught this on video. This is how specifically trained ALAB not to soil the place where he lives. So he hates it. He was sleeping there, so once he peed, he was sleeping, he was able to smell it, and now he's trying to push it away. He's trying to keep it. Excuse me, you might hurt your nose. Thank you. And Kai, leave it. Come here. Thank you, huh? Thank you. Go back to your place. Place. Go, 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 go. Place. And I'll feed you, okay? Wow. You see how punishing it was for him to have something as smelly as Kaya's pee in our studio. He's not gonna have it. He's not gonna have it. So what I'm gonna do with this soiled potty pad is to keep it, or put this terracotta on the pee and let it soak in it, so the next time I use the terracotta, it also smells like pee, and hoping that he will mark it and start, peeing on it. Let me show you how light colored Kaya's pee is. Can you see that? It's very light yellow because I give my dogs a lot of water, and that's one more thing that I want to give to you as a tip. Especially when you give them kibble, please add a lot of water because it dehydrates the dog. Okay? Kai, come here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yay, you're a good boy. So are you. Trying to clean up Kaya's pee. Give them a lot of water. In fact, I'm going to show you how I do that with ALAB. And what else? And for the amount of water that I give ALAB and Kaya, I can predict that after an hour, especially after they finish everything, they need to potty. It just feels a little bit weird that I'm doing this right now because Kaya's like, what's this? Is it a mat where you want me to sit on? Is it a mat that you want me to sleep on, to go into a down on? Very difficult. So you gotta celebrate every time. like any training that you want to do, you want to celebrate every time they do something right. And if they don't do something correct, if they commit an accident, if they commit the wrong thing, they don't know that it's wrong, just ignore it. In advanced clicker training classes, I have a try again marker. So if you have a clicker to mark a right behavior, then you have a marker to have to mark a behavior that is not what you're asking for. For me, it's like an or see, sorry, it's not me. We're not training. Or do it again, or one more time. Example, if you ask for a sit and then they give you a down, you can say one more time. So you can do that. If they commit a mistake being in a place where you don't prefer them to be, then most likely it's our fault, including myself, it's our fault. Then just try harder later on again. Try harder again. Good boy, you got a lot of scratching from me. Scratching. So luckily, I can always just bring my dogs out to the garage and make them go potty. But from people who have been messaging me, living in condos, living in buildings, some of them don't have any other choice but to do this. And it took me this long to wait for him, with a lot of management, with a lot of preparation, for him to go potty. He's supposed to potty at 9:15, but it's 9:48 when I asked Alexa, and that's like 30 minutes. A little over 30 minutes of when he needs to pee. Hi, inside. Hi, come on, inside. Thank you. Next, most people will try to put the potty pad, again, did I discuss this earlier? Most people will try to put the potty pad inside their sleeping place, inside their crate, inside their fence. There's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer not to, especially for ALAB. When he was young, he has always been very particular with pushing away things that, smells like pee or poo. He doesn't like it. So if there's a technique that you have to put, and there's nothing wrong with that technique. If it works for you, then please do it. It's humane. You put the crate inside of the fence. You open the crate. You put a mat right in front of the crate. So when they need to poo or pee, they go outside immediately. They pee on the mat because they don't have any place to go. You make the fence wider, bigger, then you put the potty pad farther and farther away from the crate. So they realize in a very slow process, conservative process, they go on the mat, they go on this training pad or newspaper, and then they pee there or they poo there. I know for a fact that my really good friend Katrina of Lizzie did this technique. Mommy Cat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think you did that technique. You told us this a few years ago, and it worked for her. Now Lizzie is, I think, 11 years old, and she still does the thing consistently. She goes on the pad wherever it is in the house, and she pees and poos on it, and that's how they trained it, and it was from a book. Now I'm demoing with a very specific dog. Okay. These are very specific dogs. Be very careful with what you read and what you watch. Even with this one, even with my training videos, be very careful because it may not apply to your dog. It might be the right technique for a different dog. Remember that for all tutorials, especially when it comes to fitness and anything. It may not be the right, even with baking. Baking is such a rocket science that even the temperature of your room has everything to do with yeast and all. I don't bake, but I consume a lot of bread, and I ask a lot about baking. So it has everything to do with temperature, even when you're kneading the dough. And shout out to Michael Stewart, hi Direct. So he makes really good breads. And it is what I do is in contingent to the dogs that I have. These are tips that worked for me that I want to share with you, and it may not work for you. It may not work for you, and that's the cruel reality of it. So, what else? That could also work. Confine them in a place, and again, it's contain or confinement. Confine them in a place where you can put the mat and the crate if they're crate trained. And I don't prefer it because he will try to chew on this. So I don't prefer the technique. There's nothing wrong with the technique. It also it also just depends on your dog. I'm just giving you an extra tool that worked for me for a really long time. I'm not selfish. Please watch other videos, other how-to and training videos, and see what works for you. These are only a few things that, even with fitness videos that I do, some immediately don't apply to my body because I have a bad back. When someone talks about, doing back bends, I can't do that because my back, it suffers. Same thing when you're doing dog training. Sometimes it's easier for the dog to pee on newspaper. Sometimes it's easier for them to pee on a potty pad like this one. And for most dogs, it's not easy. It's better when they're puppies. But now I don't have puppies anymore. I have senior citizens. And I'm teaching them again a new trick. So it is always possible to teach old dogs new tricks. This is what I got from my teacher, Terry Ryan. Terry said, and I agree with her, it's just like a bonsai. So the bonsai plant, even if the plant is really old, you can still train them to go on a certain curve, but it takes a lot longer. But there's more satisfaction. The younger plant can easily be bent compared to, of course, the older plant, the older tree. But the younger plant doesn't seem to be as pretty. So I like that. Thank you so much, Terry. It's been 10 years since I've met you. So, what else? What else? I don't want to forget anything. Everything is not on my notes. I need to show you how I feed ALAB. Hold on. Let me just fold this because he hates this thing.
I'm reminding you. Potty the dogs.
See? 10 a.m.
I'm reminding you. Potty the dogs.
Hey, calm down, girl. So, I'm gonna put this one away. And I'm gonna show you how I feed ALAB. So, for my training videos, I toss it around, train them with it, give them a lot of exercises, passive exercises, active exercises, and then you feed them. Okay? So this is how I feed them. That's why it's always measurable for me on when to make them pee outside. So hold on. Kai, you're done. Okay? So I have a bowl and I have a mat. So I'm gonna feed him here. And what I'm gonna do is do all the things that he doesn't like being done to him. His eye medicine. Let me just put this one away. Kai, you're done. Eye drops first. Good boy. Good boy. And then I try to do some, because I brush his teeth, I try to open it. So I'm doing all these uncomfortable things before I give them breakfast. Good boy. For husbandry. And I want to give a shout out to another teacher of mine, Laura Monaco-Torelli. I never really got enough time to concentrate on how to pronounce her last name. But hi, teacher Laura. So she has a lot of courses. She travels the world to teach husbandry. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And then, that's when he gets his food. But with a lot of water. That's how much water I give him. Go! Go! Shake. Go. You. Go. Love. Come on. Take it. Yeah, go. So, while he's eating, this is the probiotics I was talking about. It's called Delight, and it's very sweet. And you don't want sugar, especially when your dog's allergic to it. I bought this March 26. I opened it up and I put it in the warmest place in the house. And it took me about a week. And when I tasted it, it was okay. It was very sour. There's almost no sweetness to it. And I am now using it to give them their probiotics. Rocky, hi Rocky, hi Haneke. So what else? I give ALAB about 2 tablespoons in the morning after meals. I give ALAB I give ALAB, this is 1/2 tablespoon. I give ALAB 1 tablespoon, 2 of these, and then I give Kaya 1/2 tablespoon, which is 1 of this. And you shake it well. Once you think that it's all just lactobacilli and there's no more sugar, that's when you put it back in the ref, okay? Because the lactobacilli can sleep. If you're trying to feed, trying to wake up the probiotics, don't put them in a cold place. It's just gonna stunt their movement. It's gonna hibernate, okay? So we're just waiting for him to slowly finish his food because, you know, he's such a... See how arty he is? He needs a placemat, y'all. Who's there? Now I can say to everyone, hi, Jocks. Thank you for always tuning in, girl. So, I'm gonna shake this one and start putting in while he's eating because I wanna end this video as soon as possible. I wanna pee. That's one. That is two. Yay! If you have any question, who's this? Madhumia Gupta. Hi. If you have any questions about potty training or any training at all, please write them down in the comment section. I will be happy to answer your question based on the experience, the success, and the failures that I have done. So, in terms of training, and don't be shy to ask your questions, even if you think they're stupid. For me, there's no stupid question. And I always make sure that in every class, the biggest thing that I always tell my students is not to hold back with asking questions and being wrong. I want to create, in every class that I teach, whether it's dog training or art or yoga, I always want to make that platform that is safe for everyone to commit mistakes. I mean, that's what I'm there for, to share them, not to teach them the right thing, but to teach them that what worked for me. Teacher Brad, I logged in late. Would I be able to view this later on? Yes, you can view this later on. I will be posting this for public consumption indefinitely. Yeah, let me use the same bowl for Kaya. I'm just gonna put one. You still want it? Aba! That's too much. Let's give Kaya naman. For those of you who are watching, if you're giving your dogs probiotics, what do you give? Because I make my own. This one is not straight from... I had to do some waiting, and it's a process. I also make my own yogurt, and it's very easy. I can do another video for that, or I can just type it down later on. Kai, excuse me. Thank you. I'm gonna give it to you. Just hold on, okay? I'm so tempted, you know what? Love it. Fuck, that's sour. I hope there are no kids watching this. I cuss a lot. Obvious ba? Okay. Yes, love. Stop scratching, please. Wait. This is one more practice that I want to teach everyone. Okay. It's self-control, self-restraint. I open it. He tries to go in, I close it. Open it. Leave that thing. Open. Kai. Okay. Go. Go, 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 go. Hop. Hop, 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 hop. Yay! And then I close it. I just don't want them rushing through, you know. There's no words. I just give them an access. Every time they go for it without my go signal, I close it. Really easy. Self-control. Put this one here. It's gonna take him about an hour before he needs to go potty. Okay, so I have a few more minutes to answer your questions. Hi Colin, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Toink. Q&A. Can I go back to previous? Oh, I can. See, I'm still also new to this. Yay. Okay, let's start with Jiro. Hi Jiro. Hi Ni. Hi Clarice. Claire. Yeah, now I can read it. Good morning. No practice. Stay safe, you guys. Stay safe also, Han. Hi Ni. Hi anak. Hi Jen, you were watching. I don't know who else is live watching me right now. Hi Carmen, I miss you and the whole family. Can you see ALAB doing an auto? Here, auto fellatio. Hi Mark. Hi Barbs. Hola. Bev Zulweta. Again, you tagged this Bev Zulweta before. Hi. Hi Marilyn, my suke. Oh, Merk. Hi Merk. Hi Jen. Oh, hi Lester, Maricel, RJ, Rudini, Priya, Kosha. I'm so distracted, Brad. What's distracting you, girl? Hi, Abigail, Arana, Ike's, Ryan. No questions yet. Even inside the house, leash pa rin? Yes, even inside the house, I always put them on leash because I want them to get used to being on leash while they're living their lives. Okay? Both on and off leash, of course. Because again, sometimes once you put dogs on leash, and I've seen dogs that are that don't want to go potty on leash because they've never gotten used to it. They were just given the chance, the opportunity to potty outside in the garden, and they're never used to it. And you will be in places where your dogs should be on leash, and you don't want them to suffer and adjust right then and there. So he's not scratching right now, so that's good. Raisa, hi Raisa. Abigail, Arana, hi, good morning. Oh, do you like my hair? Do you like my haircut? I did it myself. It's so imperfect, and that's what I like about it. It's the whole brand thing. What else? Ryan, hi, good morning, Tatay Rai. Joy Quinones, hi Joy. I haven't met you. I don't know you, but hi anyway. No questions. KQ, hello. Raisa Alegre, hi Rice. Rachel, hi Rach. I can't see this shit. Renilde, hi Renilde. Tonito. Long time, Tonits. Hello Maricel. Ate Ida. Hi John Mounter. Whoop. Mark, hi Brad. Mark Peña Nueva. Hi Ate Eads. Mark, hi Mark. Hi Brad. Mark says Peña Nueva. Hope you do a video training of puppy anxiety left alone soon, or if you have time. You know what? I honestly think that's useless, because if you have a puppy, you can't just leave them alone unless it's an emergency situation. Okay, you should teach them strategically to be left alone, but there are certain steps that you should take, and It doesn't have to be a puppy. It could be a grown-up dog. If they're anxious being alone, then you should step up being a fur parent, okay? Especially when they're puppies, you don't just leave them passively unless, again, it's an emergency situation. And if it's an emergency situation, just let them be anxious. If you need to run to the hospital, or if you need to pick up someone who needs to be rushed to the hospital, it's a case where, sorry, you can be anxious, but you're anxious as well, and it's an emergency situation. And this may not be a popular opinion to a lot of trainers, to a lot of professionals, but that's my opinion. And another opinion, again, going back, if you have a puppy, why are you going to leave them in the first place? Give me a better reason why you need this video. Okay? Taray. Jenay Benitez. Hi, Marilyn. Maybe he's conscious because he knows he's in a video. Ay nako, that's true. Christina. Hi, Christina. She Badoy. Priya. I was going to say the same, Marilyn. Stage fright. Yes, you people agree. Hi, Minwoo. Ogong. Hi, Ogong. Ani Kanoy. Victor To. Wow. Hi, Victor. From Singapore. My favorite country. Sorry. Singapore is my favorite country. I've never been to a lot of countries, but it's my favorite country. Next to, I should say, the Philippines. And it's not because I've got a lot of really good things here. I was made, born, and raised here. And why am I gonna hate this country? I don't hate the Philippines. There's a lot of things to improve in this country, but Singapore is my favorite country. Why not, right? Hi, Bapot. Hi, Eds Bonagua. Oh, Monique. Hi, Monique. No one else is watching. Oh, hi, Doc Yulin Mariano. Mark Penanueva. Tara. Hi, Tara. Elmar. Mavic. Carmela. Hi, Carmela. Haneke. Rocky. Jox. Madhumita. And yes, Makat Claraval. Rosana Tan. Hi, Rosana. Brad, you are an amazing trainer. Thanks for your help with my dog. I honestly, thank you. I'm not the only amazing trainer around. There's a lot of, in the Philippines alone, there's a lot of amazing trainers. And a lot of them are not even from Manila. There's a lot of trainers in Manila that are amazing, and I'm not being plastic or hypocrite, but I'm not the only one. But thank you for the compliment. I can name you a few. I can tag you in a few amazing trainers. But thanks, Madhumita Gupta. Mwah. Karina Gemperle. Okay. Hi, Brad. How would you potty train 2 dogs at a time? Also, are they expected to pee and poo in the same place? Okay. My dogs potty at the same time at the same place. Again, you have to apply it and you have to be consistent with it. Coincide. If you have 2 dogs, like my dogs, you need to coincide when they need to potty and where they need to potty. So when you're walking them and you get to the place where, and you're at the right time that answers the when, Karina Gemperle, then ideally they're gonna potty both at the same time. Even if there's 3 dogs, even if there's 4 dogs, okay? What else? Hi, Grace. Oh, Jasper Lagitao. Jasper, I did a shout out, and I think you were too late to hear and see it, but it's in the replay. Okay. Barbie, excited to practice na. Go do it, girl. Junie De Leon. Hi, Junes. Shelo Blanco Nunez. Jasper Lagitao. Oh yeah, there you go. Hey, Jasper, thanks for sharing. Anytime, coach. Syra, okay. Hi, Syra. Jesslyn, hi. Vivian. I guess that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you again very soon. And this guy's gonna celebrate his birthday in, I think, 2 weeks. It's the 13th. I don't know when that's gonna be. Nobody knows what day it is now or what day. I know it's April. Thank you so much for watching. Who else is this? Junie De Leon. Hi! I'm gonna post this for public consumption indefinitely. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, share it. You don't even have to like it, okay? Don't even subscribe. Do your friends a favor and share this. And you're also doing me a passive favor for sharing this. Of course, who doesn't want publicity, right? You're a hypocrite if you're on social media and you don't want publicity. That's stupid. You can share it. You can even secretly just send it to your friends. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for waiting with me with this dog to potty. So difficult. And I'll see you again on the next video. Thank you so much. And I want to leave you with a plug. I have a Patreon account. And Kathy Santos, hi. Thanks. I have a Patreon account. That's patreon.com/Brad Feliciano. You will see all my training videos there, full of explanations, full of explanations on how and why. How to do it, how to progress, why it is important, and all of the good stuff. Okay? Thank you so much again, and then I'll see you on the next video. Ciao! How to end this shit again? Oh, there.